Oh, there we go. Well, you gotta cancel on me, camera. Brutal. Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me all right. I was having some last minute issues. Alright, looks like it's working. I think it's working. Cool. Alright, cool. I may have a delay between what I'm doing. Anyhow, hello! Happy Saturday. Whether it's Saturday morning, late Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, or a different day entirely, depending on what time zone you're in. Welcome. Just wanted to do a quick stream. Had some stuff to chat about. Wanted to test out just a quick stream format setup. Still working on it. I am no professional streamer. I'm no professional YouTuber either. I am not a professional in any capacity. But here we are. So feel free to put some questions in the chat. If you think I really need to see it, super chat I think is an option. Should be set up to do something special. I guess we'll find out. I think the chat should be on screen as well. I think. Again, I have not really been streaming too often, so kind of trying to get back into it. And hopefully you guys will bear with me in case anything comes up. Alright, yeah, the first thing I've got on the screen is our favorite blaster of all time. I had a few topics in the mix. Yes, Shelby Destroyer was one thing. I had wikiHow on the mind, and then some funny Nerf Legends speedrun, because that came up during last stream, so I figured we'd actually dive into the legitimate speedruns that people have done, because they are more impressive than anything I could hope to achieve. If you are particular on wanting to hear about a certain topic, or you want to discuss a certain topic more than the others, let me know now and we can jump to it. This was the first thing I had on screen, so we might just start there. Nerf for Congress. No, last time it was Beret for Nerf House, and they haven't gotten back to me yet, which is very sad. Hopefully they will one day. Sparky, I was a backer. Ordered the Hydro Dip. Ooh, you got the Unobtainium, the one that was never even listed. Let's go to their Instagram, which I'm currently not blocked on. Yeah. So they had a bunch of showings for the original and a couple variants for the carbon fiber wrap. But I don't know if they ever had a physical model for this guy. Yeah, they never had, at least for what we've seen, an in-hand unit that had this digital camo orange black on top of the white. I don't think it was on the pre-order option either, which means that they definitely didn't have it ready in the first place, but they were probably going to look to offer it on their website. They're very real, not defunct website. She had a presence on IG. Yes, I think I know who you're talking about. I am actively trying to communicate with this individual. All right, let's do a quick, just general update on Shelby Destroyer stuff, and then you guys can ask more specific questions. But here's my kind of state of the Shelby stuff. So for the past few weeks, I have been gathering kind of just some legacy information that's been out there for some time. We've been getting screenshots from the website, trying to find info on like the Wayback Machine. We, of course, have crunched the numbers that don't make sense on the actual Indiegogo, but I've also been given information from those who backed it early, so they got into the exclusive like Shelby Club, or the what are they calling it? Something that you were able to get it early access for a discount. Like you paid $20 to get into the early access group, and then they would like give you $20 off because it was like super discounted. Yep. And those don't show up in like the actual like backer perks right here, which is sketchy but confirmed. So I've gotten some proof of purchase from people who ordered from the Indiegogo, and then some others who were early and got stuff behind the scenes, and then also some proof that they had little add-ons like additional discs and batteries. Not sure if they had optics or whatever. So I have proof that people are still waiting on their orders and are out a little bit of money if they did not request a refund in like late 2023. That is about the time when they kind of stopped responding to stuff, and you can more or less see proof of that here. Like February 2023 was their last update on the website, and then you go up like on their Instagram, their last actual posting, July 2023. Yeah, it's 2023 was when things kind of stopped, and that was one of the reasons that it kind of felt rude to poke and prod like this time a year ago, because it was still kind of like on the fringes. But the concerns had been there, because at that point it had been like 2 years since they had successfully funded it on Indiegogo, and now people were really wondering like, hey, so the joke is that you guys keep delaying, is it going to actually happen? And lo and behold, yeah, a year later, and they've completely ghosted anything. Like there's been zero updates, zero communication in 2024, so we can obviously speculate as to what had happened since 2023 to now. But so I've got some of that information. I've got a little bit of communication from those who had early access to it, so I have been able to talk to those who got their hands on the initial prototype, and I'm still working on getting some additional kind of like video content from them, discussing in their like own opinions, just to kind of like fully define what it was like to work with the Shelby team, whether that included payment or not. I'll specify more on that later, but it's still being worked on. I have yet to, this may shock you, I've yet to actually get in contact with anyone who is associated with the Shelby team. I've tried to get in contact with these folks as well, the i3 product development team, because they've got the Shelby Destroyer proudly displayed on their website, and I figured if they knew the status of it, maybe they would re-evaluate wanting to have it proudly displayed on their site. They've even got people in their talent profile that are showing it off like in hand, like it's their business snapshot, and they are holding a Shelby Destroyer prototype, which, hey, you do you, but I would reconsider if I knew the current status. Oh, Luke is asleep. But yeah, so I've been a bit stonewalled. I haven't gone like 100% all in on some of those contacts just yet, but I have been, yeah, unsurprisingly, nothing has come back to me on anything beyond like the hobby space. But I'm still, gathering some information, and it's starting to get a little bit more fully defined now. And I'm reading what some folks are saying. So was this never released and was more than likely a scam? I never heard of this. Norseman. So okay. I know people just want to say scam, and at the end of the day, if you paid for something and you didn't get it and you're out money, there might be fraud. Could be. But the also important thing to remember is that these Kickstarters and these Indiegogos, they are rife with situations like this. The only reason that I'm highlighting, say, the Shelby Destroyer is because it was something that was directly targeted to our hobby, right? We see Kickstarter scams all the time. It's a fun topic, right, for some people to go over. You see some crazy ideas and inventions. But the Shelby Destroyer was meant for the Nerf enthusiast. It was meant to definitely capture our attention, and we were probably the target to spend a bit more money on this bespoke product. Now, was it a scam outright? Currently, I do not believe so. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that because there's too much work here to just be a scam from the beginning. I mean, look, do you think this was free to like work with this company to make the internals? We saw so much proof that, you know, there were products, there were like prototypes that were, not products, there were prototypes being worked on, and they obviously put them through a few iterations because they were unsatisfied with early batches. But, you know, like we saw the prototypes that were given to a few influencers to show off and like brought to Jared's Epic Blaster Battle. You know, the thing worked. Maybe it still had a few hiccups, but they had a functional, more or less functional prototype. They seemed very intent on delivering these things. I've also seen a picture of quite a few shells that were being worked on that just did not obviously get sent out to people because they probably had some problems. So I do believe that they were working on this and they intended to actually send them out. But whether it was problems with the blaster itself, you know, the shell, manufacturing tolerances, the internals, you know, not being up to snuff, the ammo, mention the ammo, the proprietary ammo. They did mention having to change that at one point as well. They're reinventing the wheel, they're reinventing the blaster. So any one of those issues could be a reason for a major setback, but altogether really seems like a problem. Pair that with some potential issues with the name itself, some issues with the founders, just motivation-wise, money-wise, you know, situation-wise. This wasn't their job. This was just like a passion project meant to kind of speak to the kid, the one who had the interest in Nerf. And at some point, I wouldn't be so surprised if they said that, oh, you know, all these problems are happening and now the guy doesn't even care about Nerf. All right, well, we're not gonna finish the project then. And to speak on the money too, you know, we see this number, $107,000, and you think, oh, that is quite a lot of money. But is it really? Like, to do all of this? Especially for, you know, going over the course of multiple years, that money did not last very long. They spent a lot of money on marketing, it's pretty clear, because there was a lot of marketing for this thing, and they had a couple of employees, and then they were advertising this like in person at like the Jared's Epic Blaster Battle. That cost money. They were talking with some other groups to get feedback early on. I've confirmed this. You know, there's probably money involved in those conversations for a little bit of consulting, even if not much, it adds up. So I think they did just kind of run into a money issue where this did not sustain them for very long. This also is a little unclear if that is very, very real. So that's kind of where a lot of the thoughts are. Outright scam? Probably not. Did they run into some unforeseen challenges? Absolutely. Did those challenges make them eventually just kind of stop? Possibly. Should they still refund people or deliver a product? Yes. That does not excuse not delivering a product. Though I guess if they're not interacting with us at this point. The weirdness and why I think this kind of also speaks to not being a like scam from the outright or like a scam up until they stopped communicating. Like I think they were still trying, personal opinion, is because they were still posting stuff in 2023 that leaned into like advertising. And why would you still be advertising a product well beyond its Indiegogo, successfully funded Indiegogo campaign? Well, I think because they were trying to still get people to pay attention so they could order from their website. Once their website is no longer active, or at least it was not renewed, then like, yeah, what is the point of any of that advertising? So I think at just certain spot, they had those major issues and then just kind of stopped because they really, up to that time, like in 2023, really intended on actually bringing the product out fulfilling the pre-orders, and then continuing to sell on their website, because they had mentioned, all this pre-order stuff is at a good discount, right? 35% off for all of these perks, all these different levels, and for the early gang, it was like 40% off. But they still wanted them to be available on the website afterwards. So these real prices would be something that you could eventually buy them after the pre-order window, but obviously that never did come. So, Shelby Destroyer, best blaster of all time? Maybe. We'll find out when they deliver it. So, anyways, that a little bit longer than I was intending, but yeah, that's where my current mindset is. This does not excuse, bad business practices, but it sounds like a project that they got way in over their heads on, but not communicating anything beyond what they've done now is obviously very scummy. Borderline illegal. That is not for me to really dive into. I've gotten some messages of like, you gotta like sue them for everything they're worth. And I'm like, whoa. I kind of set out to say I'm not going that route. I am also not the kind of person that can really dive into the legal speak and start accusing people on that scale. I think I'll regret it. I think they'll come back at me if I'm really poking and prodding that hard. Or not. But yeah, I intend to show a lot of the things that happened, show a lot of the people's experiences who did pre-order this thing, and hopefully put out something that will better educate folks on looking to new projects like this and having an extra level of skepticism. There's a problem that there's proprietary ammo and no one uses peach rings, and they didn't release that until it was too late, or was this game in the first place? Yeah, so the ammo was a problem. They mentioned that their first wave of like ammo was not good after a while. They did at one point change to the color is less important here, but it kind of signals the like change in time. Orange discs were a change. That's when I think they changed the formula a little bit. So a lot of their later social media shows it with the orange discs, but they're still proprietary to the company. Like, you could probably make your own in some capacity, but they obviously intended to sell all the discs as well. But by having all of that themselves, there had been some issues earlier on where they were going to lock all of that behind like a subscription model too, and locking the blaster performance there. That was fun. Good times. That'll come out more later as well, in case you didn't know. I did not shoot Vortex, correct, Norseman. It did not, unfortunately. That would have been maybe like one saving grace if it was compatible. But this also got into the idea of like what was the Shelby Destroyer like really trying to get out of like advertising to the like Nerf enthusiasts when Vortex had been dead for quite some time. Like, they brought Vortex back. They brought Vortex back in, oh gosh, my memory is breaking. 2015? When did it first shoot? Man, I don't remember this. Vortex obviously debuted earlier in the 2000s, and then they brought back Vortex, the VTX line, which was cool. Like, it was cool to see, admittedly the same blasters, just with a different coat of paint, but new like colored discs, and just like Vortex back in general. Fun. Vortex is a fun ammo type, but it didn't like stick around for too long. Obviously, we're not seeing it on store shelves now, so it didn't like grab hold of the enthusiasts. Well, the enthusiasts maybe, but like the general audiences, it didn't stick for too long, and now it was gone. Was there like a massive hole that the Shelby Destroyer maybe was trying to fill? Maybe, but they also, in like some of their early marketing, they said, Henry said, that they wanted something that was more accurate. And your typical Nerf blaster wasn't very accurate, so something like the Shelby Destroyer firing discs would fix that accuracy problem, which is a bunch of baloney, because we have darts that do that. Darts are just more accurate. The discs were never fun because they were super accurate. They were fun because they went all over the place, and the way that they flew made them unique to dodge. And if you just had a just wall of discs flying at you, it was something like no other ammo type. Yeah, they were claiming it was a better ammo type than standard darts. which I'm gonna need a source. Gonna need a source on that one, but I don't think I'm getting much communication from them these days. Anyhow, so yeah, good blaster, great product. I'd love to get a shell if they still have those lying around, even if they're like bad shells that weren't up to snuff. I'd take one. Maybe I should offer to pay them for an empty shell, or if they were willing to ship out the shells, and then call their orders done. That would be bold. Ooh. Maybe if I get in contact with them, I'll pitch them that idea. And they'll go. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah, so Shelby stuff is ongoing. As always, if you are interested in contributing to the information dump, if you are a pre-order victim and you have not already joined the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. The link to that is in my announcement video. And if you would prefer to stay more private or just not on Discord, you can email me at my beret.nerf@gmail.com. I have gotten some information through there as well, so thank you to those who have already reached out and have already contributed. We have done a lot of fun digging, and I look forward to the conclusion of this, which admittedly may not be super satisfactory to those who are still waiting on an order, but hey, any first step, maybe we'll get a response, or maybe it'll put more interest out there for someone else to really dig like deeper, and someone who knows them will contact, or someone who is a little bit more inclined to seek things out legally and get a legal justice will do that. I don't think there's any problem with me kind of just going to the extent of what I can find and who's willing to talk, because again, that kind of just leaves the door open for someone to push even further. But the awareness campaign, I think, is a good first step. The shell looks great. I would love to put Nitron internals into it. Yeah, maybe if anything, this taught people that if you can still get a Vortex Nitron, you still can have some fun. And I don't think they mentioned the like Vortex stuff or the Nitron explicitly either as like inspiration, which is just a silly thing. Like, for all the like smart decisions and like, the look how much work we put into this, look how much like this i3PD put into like the internals, they improved the accuracy, the better battery life, the customizable power. Wow, there's no jams, we fixed it, no more jamming. As cool as that is, yet to not credit like Nerf Vortex as any bit of an inspiration, or not to look to that for like design language, strange. Very odd. It speaks to their initial table, which has been updated since, but let's see what the current table, what's it look like. Hey guys, we're at the prototyping stage, production will come soon. Where's their infamous table? That now makes a little bit more sense, but still not. Like, look at this. Shelby Destroyer versus the Nerf rival Percy's and the Dart Zone Pro Mark 1.1. Okay. Sure, yeah, you can compare these. You can compare the rapid-fire nature of the Shelby Destroyer to a rival blaster, and you'll find interesting similar results, and you won't get that from the Dart Zone Pro Mark 1.1. That's true, they don't have a 120-round magazine. These guys have smaller ones. A fast reload? I would argue, maybe, yeah, power settings, yeah, sure, no. But why not Vortex, like, as a comparison? Nerf Vortex anywhere? Maybe because these are more relevant, like they were released more recently, back in 2021. Goofy. The conclusion will definitely be a release of the product, and it will be converted to Vortex, and then Hasbro will be excited to try to double down and release Pro Vortex in 2027. Yes, Willis. Sorry, I forgot. That is the actual plan. I can't tell people that yet, though. They have to wait. It'll be exciting. That's right, I'm in talks with Hasbro right now. They're paying attention to everything we do here, and they are eagerly awaiting the fact that the Shelby Destroyer will not come out, and then they will seize that opportunity to release their own Shelby the Destroyer. Anastoid Gel Blaster. Yes, only those who were there will know. The stupidest comparisons ever. Let's see if I can pull up a... Where's that table? I want to find it just for... Oh, that's right. The stupid... One sec. Let me find my subfolder. Instagram table. Is it this one? Yeah, something like this. Where's this guy? Maybe this one. Oh, it's so hard to see. Alright, same thing here, just missing the Shelby logo, but I think you get the idea. This one was a Shelby Destroyer, Nerf Overwatch, Anastoid Gel Blaster, and Nerf Raven. The best comparable offerings you could ever imagine. As you know, Nerf Overwatch does have rapid fire and does have a 120 round magazine and a fast reload, but it doesn't have LED lights. And the Anastoid Gel Blaster, for some goddamn reason, love it. Good times. Gel discs, maybe. Tasty. Eating the gel discs and being found dead, tagged in the streets of Nerfland. Don't eat the discs. Hey, if they say don't eat the darts, that leaves room for a lot of other ammo types to be consumed. Unless I'm warned explicitly, and I haven't been able to get in contact with Shelby, so maybe you just gotta summon them. Eating gel discs at 3 a.m. to summon Shelby Destroyer. Yeah, good times. This feels so weird, these tables. No, we love these tables. They speak to us emotionally. Who is Anastoid? Who or what is Anastoid Gel? Yes, that is a good question. The Anastoid Gel Blaster is just a type of Gel Blaster. Correct. If you've heard about any Gel Blasters, it's probably not that one. But for some reason, they decided that was what they were going to put on their initial table. And it was hilarious. They did change it. Obviously, they eventually got something that was slightly more appropriate to compare to. But we'll never forget. We'll never let them forget. They aren't saying no. I have a cap gun beret. Can I eat the caps? Okay, maybe I should... Should I be more careful about what I say online? Maybe. Don't eat the darts, don't eat the caps. There is no warning telling me not to eat discs, therefore the discs must be edible. You know, there is a point to be made that because very few people actually got the discs in hand, and from what I heard, those who did get those initial discs were told to, be very careful and try to get them all back. They wanted as many discs back as possible. I'm sure, therefore, none of the early testers were trying to eat them. They were too afraid, right? They were too scared of ruining the early product. So they probably just didn't even try it. Wasted opportunity. Please don't eat. They have lead in it. Oh no. Maybe that helped them fly further. Maybe the real Anastoid is the friends we made along the way. Maybe. I should, this would be so useless, but I should reach out to, Anastoid Gel Blasters, if they still exist, and be like, hey, do you approve of this marketing for the Shelby Destroyer? The most useless side quest ever. But it would appeal to a few people. That's just like Google's AI that said it's okay to eat Crocs because they're a non-toxic material. Oh no. Oh, that's right. The very poorly done AI responses. Yes. Hospital. Yes, maybe. So yes, Shelby Destroyer stuff is ongoing. I hope to put something out about it in like a month or so. We'll see if I just do more updates like this or if we can actually get a video done by then. There's a few moving parts, to say it lightly. But yeah, it's progressing. Like I said too, don't expect to all of a sudden see a response from the founders as a result, but we will try. We will try our best. Investigative journalist, man with hat, is on the job. Very unprofessional man, but he will do his best. Yes, and we can officially say, don't eat the darts, don't eat the discs, don't eat the caps of your cap gun, don't eat Capcom. That's a company. Yeah, don't eat stuff unless you're prepared to go to hospital, because you did not hear it from me. I would never make such dangerous recommendations. Blah. Hey, you guys heard of wikiHow? I have. It's this little article and stuff. I'm also trying to finish my coffee this morning before it's not morning anymore. It's so Shelby Destroyer. Okay. Sorry, I didn't go back to my UI anytime recently, so I was just making sure things looked okay. They look like crap. Me when the Shelby Destroyer. Hey, high quality images are sometimes in my wheelhouse. It's so Shelby Destroyer. wikiHow? I don't know. Also, somehow they collab with Dude Perfect at one point, or at least that is what it says on their page. Yeah, all right, hang on. I guess we're not done with this yet. So the Dude Perfect, that was one of the more recent things that I was looking into, which obviously stemmed from a picture like this. I also confirmed, like on the Dude Perfect Instagram, you can see a picture with them using the Shelby Destroyer. This one looks a bit more polished, a bit more new, though ironically I think the correct phrase is not it looks new, is that it looks like the original prototype, because the one that they were using in their tour was kind of one of those like chunky, blocky, unpainted versions, which like looks like this one. So it looked like they gave the Dude Perfect guys a more recent prototype for some of their shows, proving that they were working on it still into summer of 2023. Which again just makes like, oh, okay, proof that they're working on stuff and they still want to put it out. But it hadn't. And of course their point with like having this and aligning too with their little update was, guys, we know we're lacking, we know we're slacking. They're on track, we think, maybe not. By the way, then now for the exciting news. We've partnered with Dude Perfect. The dudes took our blasters on the 2022 That's Happy Summer Tour. Oh, okay. So this is this one's 2022. Cody Cotton competed with the Shelby Destroyer in the Cool Not Cool Live segment, and it was the #1 fan favorite in 22 out of 24 shows throughout the US. Woo! Get hyped. Now the funny thing here that 2022 is mentioned in this, early 2023 update, but this one is from July 2023. So they brought it out for 2 of their shows, like 2 years. This one is from, mentioning how successful it was from their previous That's Happy Summer tour. But then the next one was from their Pandemonium tour in summer of 2023, which I think I've confirmed that they had it at multiple locations, like the Toronto one is where I have footage from, which was using their newer prototype. So, they were definitely trying to work with Dude Perfect. I do not know the status of the Dude Perfect amusement park, and I don't know what their relationship is at this point, but they were definitely still banking on that Dude Perfect hookup for future Shelby stuff. Just speaking again to where's the money going? To their social media, to all the advertising. But again, at this point, the website I don't think was available for taking money for orders, and the pre-orders hadn't been filled yet. So like, it's just advertising at this point. They're advertising with no available product. Smart. Shelby divorcer. Oof. Post Shale on camera and have to scramble. All right, all good, Sparky. You also know how to reach me. Captain Xavier and Walcom are not doing this, so you don't need to talk to them. The dudes took our blaster and we never saw them again. Yeah, maybe. I think, what did they have footage here again? Previous year? Let's go back to 2022 if we dare. Ooh, I would love a sticker as well. Come on, guys, just send me a sticker. Maybe I'm dumb. Where's the... I give up. I know they had stuff with Dude Perfect from the previous year as well. Maybe it's on their own Instagram. I was making a summoning circle to summon Taffy to create a mod kit to make a Twist Fury Seal Breach. Nice. I thought you were going to say, we could obviously design a shell for the Shelby Destroyer, and then people could make their own internals. That would be funny. What do you recommend for the upkeep for the Spring Thunder? Yeah, funny story. I don't own a Spring Thunder anymore. I actually sent it back to the guy who printed it for me. So I would say just check to make sure that your catch isn't broken. I have a feeling that the Shelby Destroyers aren't easily manufactured, so this is why there's like 4 to 9. Yeah, how many Shelby Destroyers that function exist in the wild is a good question. That is one question that we've also been asking ourselves over the years, because in 2021, I think the answer was like 2. There was the original one, the regular guy, and then the carbon fiber version, but not like much more beyond that. There were really only those 2 units that were being shipped around to people. Okay, sorry, I will transition to a new topic now. Unless people keep bringing me back in, you know, I could talk about Shelby stuff forever. And I will. So, I posted a wikiHow video recently. It happened. I did it almost 4 years after my previous one, and he's back from the dead. Huzzah. It has been interesting to see that happen, because last year I told myself I was going to try and bring back wikiHow stuff, and that didn't happen. So why did it happen this year? Well, because I felt like it. I felt like it. Funny thing, so the video I posted, in case you haven't seen it yet, you didn't know, yes, I posted this yesterday, how to make a cool 10-minute Nerf fort. It's high quality, but also it's very simple, very straightforward. In case you didn't see the article, it is just making a blanket fort. If you were young and you had blankets and chairs or a couch, you've probably done this already, myself included. I obviously added a little bit of a spin to it by the end. If you know, you know. I'm doing fine, thank you. But the reason that I chose this one is because I already chose it years ago. I have a little folder with screenshots of wikiHow episodes, and those screenshots are from 2018. I just checked it again recently, because while I was making this video, and I just kind of felt the inspiration to tackle it again, because I'd looked at it recently, I had in fact saved all the screenshots from this article back in like 2018 or 2019. Some were 2018, some were 2019. And they were pretty much the exact same. Now, obviously, this one was updated in 2023, so there were some differences, and there were some comments in like the community Q&A section, which was way too vast to get into all of them, that I liked more from like the 2018 version than the modern ones. So I used one of the older ones for this video, but it got me realizing, like, holy crap, I was on this like years ago, and that is in fact 5 to 6 years ago now. Whoa. I was ready. I was definitely ready back then, and it was funny to look through that folder and see the screenshots, and then even to find that I had saved a Word doc in there. I had already scripted these videos out. So for the past like 5+ years, I had them ready to go. Like I had literally just sat down, over the course of a week, and I'd saved these screenshots and just kind of put my thoughts down in a doc with like, some little reactions, and had them because that's when I was feeling inspired. So it's pretty easy for me to jump back into them now because past me was ready to go. What does that mean going forward? Not totally sure. So the reason that this one, the how to make a Nerf fort, was on my next to-do list was because it was just the easiest. This one you can do inside. You just need some chairs, a blanket, and have at it. Not too complicated, but it is in fact a wikiHow video. And it was fun to do. I enjoyed it. If I didn't enjoy it, why would I do it? The challenge comes when the next ones, which I am not going to divulge because that would ruin the potential video, when they become a bit more difficult to film, you have to like go out, you have to find your friends and do that, and it becomes a bit more of a challenging video to not only script but obviously film, and it becomes more imposing, and you don't want to take on that challenge, and suddenly it's 4 years later and you're rediscovering your old scripts. So that is the challenge for next videos. I do have to like sit down and plan them out, not just myself, but maybe with other people, find the right locations to do it. Yes, we are basically talking like I'm trying to get a film crew set up for just a silly Nerf wikiHow video, but it's like, it's something I can't just do in my apartment. If I want to make them good, I actually want to be able to do these things out in the wild. I need to find the right areas to do that, which I look forward to. That is for sure. I enjoy filming these things. I enjoy seeing the reactions. You guys have been very kind in the responses. People have enjoyed it, and that means a lot to me. I did just see a comment on, yes, I'm sad the skit-style content doesn't do as well on YouTube these days. It feels very classic YouTube. Board games, bricks, and hobbies. There is some sadness there, yes, I will fully admit. I mean, like I said, people have been very kind, and that is good. And obviously, this is not just about, I gotta get the views on the videos. I gotta make money. Like, wikiHow videos have done very well for me in the past. I brought them back because people have really enjoyed them, and if people continue to enjoy them and they grow over time, that is totally fine. But it is, yes, a very different world than when I was posting them years and years ago. Even my last one being in 2020 was, it was well received. But even at that point, things were changing with YouTube. And now, maybe they won't be as popular. Okay, but I think some people really love them. There are people who subscribe to my channel because of wikiHow videos explicitly. I mean, I have the numbers. I can see who subscribed from certain videos, so I get it. And like I said, I enjoy doing them. The people who watch them seem to enjoy them. Some people will hate watch them. That's fine too. But they've been a significant part of my channel since I started posting them back in 2017, 2018. So I don't intend to completely leave them off. Those who still will see me doing stuff will make references to the wikiHow videos or the I'd Run That in a War videos. So I intend to keep those elements around on my channel, or at least the sentiments of the silly, goofy stuff that is laughing at wikiHow comments or using silly loadouts. So in this case, yes, how to make a cool 10-minute Nerf fort, easy stuff. If I were to look at, this is not one coming up, so I'm not spoiling anything. Another challenge of the wikiHow videos and getting new ideas for them is if I go to something like this, taking your Nerf arsenal to the next level with simple mods. Simple mods, you say? wikiHow simple mods? Oh, I bet this will be goofy. I bet this will be bad. Jolt with a silencer, drawing pen. That's a good sketch. Oh, we've got a Apollo with a pump kit, with the magazine. Oh, these are seemingly well drawn and well informed. Paint and side magazine holders. Oh wait, is this like, are these legitimate mods? Oh, okay. That's we could do that. Let's see. Updated in April 2024, and it's even where was that? I saw the wikiHow approved. Where is that? I saw there was a little like, man. Am I blind? I swear at some point there it is. Sorry, I had to read. Approved. Look at that. WikiHow is a wiki similar to Wikipedia. Blah, blah, blah. This article has been viewed that many times, but it's also been approved by someone. The WikiHow articles have gotten better, which is good. We should have good resources for people to modify their stuff or just to, better mod their blasters. Stuff that isn't dangerous. That's good. But it's harder to laugh at articles like these that are legitimately more informative. And that's what happens when they keep getting updated over time. And I've talked about this before too, where the challenge of making WikiHow videos is that once you bring more awareness to the original articles, then people will go in and they will fix them. Again, not a bad thing. It's probably good that some of those questionable comments get fixed. But they're not fun anymore. They're not that raw 10-year-old that made this article or that made comments because they played Call of Duty once it doesn't got that feel anymore. So I don't see myself making a video about how to take your Nerf arsenal to the next level with simple mods. And why this one in particular? Well, actually, if I look at the top here, it's not originally called Taking Your Nerf Arsenal to the Next Level with Simple Mods. It's called How to Upgrade Nerf Guns. How to Upgrade Nerf Guns is one of my earlier videos. This article was significantly altered from its original form, and now it's way less entertaining. So, it's harder to seek out those good ones anymore, but again, old me saw that coming. He was a true prophet of the WikiHow ecosystem. And I have saved versions of some of the older articles on WikiHow that if I go to now are updated, and they are much more level-headed, but I have screenshots from the unhinged days. And that is what I want to talk about, because those are just way more fun. And of course, we are not promoting dangerous behaviors in the videos. We are laughing at them. We're having fun with them. Because they're skits, and they're just, a man going, this seems silly and dangerous. Don't do that. But it's harder. It's definitely harder to find those old school, classic WikiHow videos. And that is why I think in one part, I stopped making them years ago. Because I kind of was burned out by what I was seeing change. Maybe you need more sound effects and mobile game gameplay to keep the kids interested these days. Ugh, Spit Zero, it hurts. Definitely, I would not be surprised if WikiHow reaches a wider audience that does involve a younger variety. And that's fine if they can enjoy it, for sure. But I hope that people also realize that when I do make videos, I do try to speak to the enthusiasts primarily. I try to speak to those who are actually the target demographic for like the 14 and up lines, people who don't need you to explain what this blaster is or does. I'm fine if younger folks enjoy it too, but I'm not speaking down to them. This isn't the, family-friendly channel, number 5, top 5 blippy moments. Like, we say naughty things on this channel sometimes. It's not kid-friendly sometimes. I'm gonna be completely honest. We have adult conversations. And that may shock you. I say that while laughing. Yeah, if they enjoy it, that's fine. Obviously, when you get views in the hundreds of thousands for some of the old wikiHow videos, I'm sure they have reached children because the comments will reflect that. But I am, of course, still operating on a level that I feel comfortable with, and I am not pandering to children. Won't happen, but if they enjoy it, dope. If it gets them into a different level of Nerf, double dope. Don't dope. It's illegal in the Olympics. That's the issue with wikiHow videos. When they get popular, wikiHow gets filled with either actual useful articles or obvious joke articles. That's right, the obvious joke articles are also something you gotta watch out for. Not as common, at least that I've found, in the Nerf ones, but other ones, yes. I have seen other people talking about wikiHow articles, and they will find that challenging. Sometimes it can be fun enough, like, you can take the bait and have a good time. But yeah, if it's not like organically created, it just doesn't feel the same. And I swear some of these old ones are legitimate thoughts that some young child said, yes, you should definitely take the back of your blaster and hit someone with it in case you're out of ammo. We love it here. We stand dangerous things, and that would get you kicked out of a regular game. You need AI voiceover reading the wikiHow articles with Nerf Legends gameplay in the background. Yes, Willis. You're completely right. How could I have not adapted to modern audiences? Yes, so I joked in the I joked in my comments that I would do another wikiHow article in 2027. I do not intend to wait that long. I do plan to try and tackle it a little bit earlier. I'm not going to make any promises though. But as I mentioned, I do have a few lined up. I might change. You know what? We'll see. There's a couple that I have in my collection that I might switch the order of, but we'll see what makes the most sense. They'll be good though. I'm gonna die on that hill. They're good articles. Darn it. They have a lot of great information and they make me laugh. They made me laugh when I read through them again recently, and I look forward to sharing them with you guys, especially because I can compare and contrast the current state of the article and the old state of the article, because the old one blows the modern version out of the water. I'll give you guys a taste. I'm not going to give any specifics, but I'm going to give you a taste. Oh, it's going to pop up on the main screen. Okay. What was the one? Yes. There's kidnapping involved in one of these. Get excited. Try to hold enemies hostage for info with weapons and other stuff. That is a real recommendation from a wikiHow article that involves 2 people tied up on a tree. We are so back. We are so back with wikiHow. I'm excited. So yeah, stay tuned. If you want to see more wikiHow videos, I feel scummy saying this. If you want people to know that wikiHow is back and build momentum to get another one out sooner than later, share it with other people. Tell them the wikiHow videos have returned. Beret is losing his mind, but he is inspired to once again teach you about the best tips from wikiHow. Oh yeah, there was a kidnapping. There's always kidnapping in wikiHow articles. It's just part of the thing. You got to do it. What the funk? Oh, sorry. Yeah. We might say the F word here sometimes. It's a bit dangerous. I'm wondering if maybe sometimes by using language like that YouTube doesn't like that, and they get upset with the clash of what should be family-friendly videos with adult language. I don't know. We're tying people to trees now. Oh yeah, we are so back. See, I mean, yeah, now I can legally tell my friends that I need to tie them to a tree because it's for a video. I miss that. I really do. Like how to be a Nerf medical assassin. We're assassinating who? Oh, the medic. War crimes? Absolutely. More like wiki what? Oh no. What are your thoughts on the Maxim Pro? The Maxim Pro exists. I have not used it. Looks fine. Well, okay. Looks like the performance is fine. I don't like the look of it overall, though. Like, I don't understand the, like, translucent orange with, like, brown and then, like, purple camo plates. Design language a little bit weird. Function seems okay. Form factor seems okay, too. Should we dive into this topic? Maybe. I probably won't get one. I have a Strife X. I don't need it. So I know all people want to see right now. You know what? Yeah, it ties into wikiHow. People don't want to watch the wikiHow skits these days. They just want their new blaster reviews. This has been I've almost felt burned out just by all the new blasters because that's all people really want to see. That's all they're asking for. Is they're like, oh, what do you think about this blaster? What do you think about that one? You should make a review video on this one. And you're like, okay, let me just add it to the list. Grand total is now, you know, you're $2,000 out because you don't have all the new blasters to review. Like, I have no intention of picking up a bunch of the new stuff because I just don't care. Like, yeah, the new Nerf Pro stuff exists. I know people have been talking about it for not so great reasons. Maybe I'll pick one up eventually. But also, I have a Strife X, so when it comes to, like, actually going to games, I don't need to test the new stuff because the Strife X slaps. Is good. It's a powerhouse. I know it's expensive. I know. But there is good quality there for what they did. Obviously, it's not the same in some of the new Nerf Pro offerings, as I hear, which is disappointing. Absolutely. And then Dartzone's got new stuff, which, again, I have quite a few of the similar offerings already. And if I have something that's similar, why get a copy just from Dartzone? If I didn't have it, maybe I would get it. And there are some blasters that I might get, and I just might not make a review video on it. You might see it eventually, and you'll just see it in a game. Like, I might get the Venom Pro because I have a few Nightingale mags now, so I can use them between my Nightingale and the Venom Pro. That's cool, and I like that they've made them cross-compatible. Doesn't mean that I need to go out and get it immediately and review it. I've been tempted to make the video on, like, hoarding versus collecting, because I think it's something that people need to hear, and it's something that I also need to kind of say out loud to myself to remind myself not to collect too much, because I do think it's a challenge, especially when we get waves of, like, summer releases that you could very easily blow $500 on if you're not paying attention. And people are like, oh, that 3D printed blaster is so expensive, and yet we've got people who will just, no questions asked, buy every new, like, Dart Zone blaster and X-Shot stuff and maybe even Nerf thing, you know, and they have all of a sudden spent the same or more amount of money. Just creating awareness. Like, I've been paying more attention to things that are on the side of, like, de-influencing and not minimalism per se, because minimalism, I think, really contradicts the Nerf hobby. But just things of, like, you know, trying to convince yourself that you don't need every new stuff, every, like, new blaster. You don't need all the new hype stuff. Just wait a little bit and maybe find something that really speaks to you, but not too much beyond that. Because I've seen just too many people who are just buying nonstop and they, like, almost can't stop themselves. And I've been in that situation before as well. You know, I've had hundreds of blasters in my collection at one point, and it gets out of control, it gets out of hand. Where do you put it? Do you use it? Like, I go to a lot of games, I think I've proven that, and even I don't use all that stuff. So, I don't know what some of you guys are using stuff for, other than just collecting for collecting's sake. Which, if you like to do that, sure. But it really depends on where you live and how much space you got. Do you want to display things or just leave them all in bins? It's hard. And I think it's a hard thing for people to hear, too, especially when they see maybe people like myself or even larger reviewers just talk about all the brand new blasters. It feels like that contributes to just the overconsumption. So, sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear from me, but it's been on the mind, and I really want to put that into some, like, put more thought into that and maybe share it with folks, because I want to help people who feel like they have to keep buying all the new stuff and tell them it's okay, you don't have to. At least with X-Shot, most of their stuff is dirt cheap unless you want every repaint. Yeah, Smith Zero, yeah, X-Shot is a tricky one, because they do make some interesting stuff, but because they've really cheaped out on their quality, it's like there are some things you really just don't need. Like, I respect them having like those collectible small guys, like the single shots, and having like a bin of 100 single shots, be it a Jolt, their Menace, Dart Zone Solos. That may add up a little bit more quickly, but you know, you can store those in like a bin, and it doesn't take up too much space. And then all of a sudden you can arm like an entire group of people and have a fun little game as a result. So that's one thing. But yeah, like, how many repaints, reskins, and variants do you really need before it just becomes hoarding? Unless you're like planning to do something special with them. Even me, you know, I made a video not too long ago with like those Nexus Pros. You know, I had the 3 colors, even missing one, and then the Nexus Pro X. And I'm probably going to let go of a couple of those soon, because I just don't need them. You know, if I really want my pump action Springer life, I have a few options. One of them's right behind me. That is a half clear, half blue Worker Harrier, by the way. It is something that I did spend money on because it has proven itself to me, and that is where I wanted to actually spend a good chunk on some quality stuff. So really waiting to spend money on what you think deserves it, instead of just collecting every cheap blaster that you might not ever use or is going to break after a few uses. There are a ton of unnecessary X-Shot blasters. Yep, yeah, I think an X-Shot kind of exemplifies that more than any other brand that at least we pay attention to. Maybe Buzzbee does as well, but they just don't make as much, I feel. At least not at this point. Except they do. Buzzbee does make an injection molded skewer. What is the world come to? Half of my collection is Nerf mod ideas that I haven't started. Yeah, and that's a big challenge too if you want to be a modder. Like, I really don't do that much modding. I don't have the space for it, and I kind of told myself years ago that I wasn't going to really do much more of it unless I did have space. I decided that I was going to go more into the video route. You know, I do more stuff that is on the line of entertainment than is like modding and education. But if I had more space, I might try it. But yes, modding does kind of require you to have more tools and blaster parts on the side. Like, if you're going to be a good merge master, you kind of need supplies for that. That's just how it goes. The X-Shot Horror Fire shotgun revolver is tempting. The pistol is disappointing, though. Yeah, I think the Horror Fire is a good example of that. Like, it's just a bunch of re-shells, re-ideas. Like, X-Shot makes some interesting stuff, but a lot of their stuff really is just reuse, recycled. Shells are not anything high quality. The shells can be unique, they look cool, but I have no interest, unfortunately, in the Horror Fire blasters, because I know exactly what they are. They could be fun, but yeah, I'm not going to seek them out. If they were willing to send them to me, I might talk about them, but I probably would give them away to people in a month. Like, full honesty. I'd probably hand them off to some folks at a local game. Which, hey, that can be a net positive for everyone then. At this point, I have fully handed off all of my X-Shot Insanity blasters and the box to other people. It happens. At least others get to benefit who are local. But maybe if I tell them that, they won't send me stuff. But that's okay. I don't need it. No interest in the Crusher reshell since it doesn't do anything new. The big skull on it is cool. Yeah, the cosmetics are fine. Hello. Yeah, so anyways, I've been stewing on that for a while as well. Juggling the Shelby Destroyer topic with, hey, time for wikiHow, and then, oh man, maybe I should talk about overconsumption. My mind is all over the place, if you can't tell. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I'm staying with it. But, hey, if people want to spend their money how they see fit, that is totally fine. It is more about creating awareness that overconsumption can be a problem and that you may not realize that you have an issue when you're so deep in like the hobby stuff and you're paying attention to all the new releases and you're like, oh my god, the new Striker 2.0 looks like it's the best thing of all time. Like, I absolutely need that. And you still already have like a Striker 1.0. You already bought the Nexus Pro X. You have a Nexus Pro as well. You have any other pump action springer? Like, I know it's a meme, but you don't need all the pump action springers. You can settle. And the coolest thing about a lot of the modern offerings is that they give you versatility and like spring options to make them more and less powerful. So it's never been easier to pick like one, maybe two that really fit what you're going to be using it for and adjust. So I think that's great. Like, that's been one major positive over the years, is that now you don't have to invest in like every new blaster, because you can just kind of like get one and then optimize it for like a full weekend of play. For example, if I were traveling to an event, like, I'll use Maryland Mayhem because it actually happened. I go to that event. If I want to play in the competitive event on Friday, I can tune up to like 200 to 250. If I want to use that same blaster for the HVZ, I might be able to tune it down like a springer to that. At Flywheel, good chance. If not, I can just bring something small, something different. And then on Sunday, for a game that's at like 150 or 160 FPS, definitely between those two blasters, there's definitely something that's going to work to be tuned either down or up to meet that FPS requirement. Hatmon wisdom. Yes. Deep Hatman wisdom. And this, I hope people take it the right way. I seriously do, because this comes from just like years of experience. You know, this isn't malicious. I'm really not trying to tell people like, hey, you have a hoarding problem. Like, you should feel bad about yourself. Do you know how much money you waste? What the is wrong with you? Like, it really comes out of place, out of respect and care, because I, again, have been in that position before, and you just realize that all these blasters are piling up and you're not using any of them, but you wanted to get it because you went thrifting and you're like, you had to get something because other people have that blaster, and well, if I don't have a certain number of blasters, I'm not good enough to like be in this hobby. People are getting hyped about this new thing. There's so much buzz about it online. I gotta buy that one too. And it's like, where does it stop? It really just becomes an overconsumption problem. And if you don't have the space to store all of it, it literally just like takes up your floor space. And if you're taking stuff apart, you just got screws and crap all over the ground. It's not fun. It really is not fun. And some people, I'm not gonna name names, try and be nice. Some people do not give a crap about people just buying willy-nilly as long as it gets them a good, you know, affiliate purchase link. This probably isn't even for our hobby, right? Like, this is more for like just other hobbies that speak to like, you know, trying to get people to buy stuff so they can get a commission. But, you know, some people just, they want to get as much attention to a new thing so that they can benefit from like the from the review that they did. And I get it. I've done that before as well. I'm not innocent in that either. But it does suck when you discover that you've kind of fallen for it as well, and that only you can really figure out what you need or want in your collection. Especially if you're like not using it at all. Like if you're just collecting to collect, it's hard to know like what really speaks to you and what is going to give you the most joy. This does not bring joy. This does spark joy. Sorry, gotta really channel my inner Marie Kondo. They've got a set of Striphoids upcoming and Elite Caliber Ultra 2 clones. I probably won't need those, but it's great that X-Shot is filling the 50 cal void Nerf just left. Are those confirmed? I saw a picture of that. I don't know if that was confirmed to be X-Shot. I thought all their blasters actually have X-Shot on, like, the side of them, pretty obviously. To be fair, it's hard to tell which one you'll like most without hands-on experience. Yeah, that too. It's really hard to just take other people's word for it without seeing it in person. That is why I'm super, super lucky to be able to say that I've gotten to see stuff in person from events, or going to other games where other people have already picked them out. I try to give that same opportunity when I get a new thing, maybe early, so I can show it to people in person and then be like, hey, here you go, what do you think of it? And they're like, oh, that's not what I thought that was going to be at all. I hate this. Or they see it and they're like, okay, you have convinced me because I was on the fence about maybe the quality here or the feel, and now that I've held it in hand, I think this is going to work really well for me. And maybe I hand something off so someone can use it in a game. It's really nice when the events lend themselves to being a trial period for new stuff. But again, they can also serve as a, oh my gosh, that is so cool, I need that, and you don't actually need that. The amount of adults that keep hundreds of Hot Wheels in their blister packs astounds me. I may only be 3 decades old, but heck, I buy toys to use them. I feel no joy in keeping things in a box. Yeah, and that's a tough one too. Like, I could see how you could keep something like Hot Wheels a bit more in a space, like you could display it and not have it take up too much space, but still, yeah, if it's in anything that's still in package will always take up more space. And I think we know that for Nerf because the boxes are sometimes just extra bulky, and there are plenty of people who collect stuff in package, and while it is very, very cool to have, a new in box thing, especially if it's got years and years of existence and it can go for a pretty penny, it's like, sorry, I got a dog hair in my mouth. Ugh. Owning a fluffy corgi has its consequences. If you don't have a good way to display some of those things, I don't really find too much value in having a bunch of collectibles. Like, I really do enjoy being able to show some stuff off behind me, but it's hard to have any of the new in-box stuff without it just really taking up space. But there is some stuff that I would buy and have to, morally keep in its package, because that's the only reason I would get it. Some of the old vintage stuff. Yeah. I just buy what I like, just a collector, but keep it in reason. Yeah, and again, that's only you will know what works best for you. Adventure Force Rogue Blaster Busby Stripe is out. Yeah, see, I don't care about that. I have so many flywheel offerings if I really wanted to. But for those who don't have something like that, it's great that more of that stuff is becoming affordable. I just hope that the quality is there too. That has become the biggest lesson to learn from this year. We definitely saw a trend of blasters getting extra expensive, and I think all companies realized collectively that that was not working out super well financially. So they had to start cutting costs and quality in some way. Some companies have done it better than others, it would appear. Can't imagine what those would be. But yeah, if it means that people can afford those, that's great. But if it means that people are therefore convinced to buy more of the less expensive blasters, then that's like, oh, no, you can stop yourself. You don't have to do it. He's just a baby. All right, I did it. I finished my coffee. I'm an adult. I should drink water. I haven't drunk any water on stream. I should drink water, not just coffee. I don't intend for this stream to go on too long. The unlisted version, no, the public version will be available after as well for people who want to watch. But since I don't think I'll be going for too long, I do want to show. I was trying to work on some stuff to make these streams a little bit nicer. Do you like the Murph? Do you like Murph? Be right back. Murph? Yeah, we love Murph, right? We love our Murph. Is the text even easy to see on screen? I don't know. Probably not. I'll refine that in the future. I've got no idea if they're real anymore. Am I even real? I struggle with that myself. Is this real? Chat, is this real? Chat, is Nerf Legends real? Did you know they made Nerf Legends speedruns? I didn't. Until my last stream. I learned a lot last stream. And I've discovered that Mr. Butterchew over here is a Nerf Legends master. 6 days ago. Oh, I didn't read that. Holy smokes. Wow, I didn't actually read this whole thing when I opened it up. Okay, so someone within the past week has just blown away every other speedrun for Nerf Legends. We're not playing Nerf Legends today. Don't worry. We will not suffer Nerf Legends at this time, but I did want to look at some of the speedrun attempts because they are impressive and I cannot speedrun anything. I was told by my friend, Mr. Luchathor, that he had gotten a record in one of the levels, and here it is. Jungle Trouble, Upper Jungle. There he is, Luchathor, 3 minutes, 32 seconds, very nice. And there's Butterchew, 6 days ago, beat him by like 4 seconds. Wait, sorry, can't do math. 34 seconds. 24. What is math? Yeah, 34 seconds. That's impressive. Murph became nothing. Oh, that might be a different topic for another time too. Poor Murph. Murph is yeah. I should reach out to Sophie about Murph. Can we find Murph? Can we save Murph? Saving Nerf headquarters? No, saving Murph. Murph gotta be saved. Oh, sorry. Can we do this? All right, let's watch Jose work. All right, so Upper Jungle. Few shots there. Why is he using the Centurion? I know he told me about this before, and he's also not here to defend himself, but I'm going to critique his speedrun. Yeah, right over. Nice, nice. That's definitely a cheat. By a cheat, I mean a good. Wow. Murphy owes me money. Deadbeat. Yeah, well, you know how Nerf cuts all their costs. I wonder if Murph was one of the victims. What? How'd you do that jump? How'd you do that jump? My guy. What are you doing? Also, these PetSmart ads, they know. They know. You got this, Jose. Big jump. On sabbatical, maybe, laid off to the CEO wanting a raise. Yes, Murph was costing too much money. Poor Murph. We'll miss Murph. Man, you really gotta beat all these little bots. That sucks. Nope, there's the puzzle. Oh, the zipline crap. Oh, I hate this so much. This would definitely be where I lose so much time. Oh, just skip it. Okay, you know what? I like that. PetSmart is watching me too. Yeah, well, PetSmart knows that we've been going there for some training. Alright, then looks like it just closes out by killing all the enemies. Not too bad. Is that Halo 3? It could be Halo 3. Hey, wait, that's me. How does it know? Does he know? Now, what then does the top... Alright, tell me your secrets. We've got Phoenix, Trilogy, Ultra 2. Okay, I'm curious. Sorry. Let's see. Whoa. Oh, yeah, I guess he got that. Oh, that's a jump. Nerf Legends does not stand a chance against this man. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh, I hate myself so much for actually having to play this level. I want to do this. I should practice. Do I want to play more Nerf Legends though? Okay, gotta head to the bot. Oh, it's part of the... Okay, I was too mean to Jose. I guess you just have to... You have to trigger the boss, but as a result, you will have to fall off the map because you can't make the jump. So it at least triggers the next area. But we just say nope. We say, nice of you to exist, Mr. Boss Man. And goodbye. Oh, get tall. Get very tall. Okay, so is this a mandatory 40? Okay. Throws himself off the edge. Why? Does that reduce the time? Interesting. Okay. Literally just waiting out the clock. Oh, the enemies didn't spawn. I don't think. Damn, that's crazy. Smart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4. Alright, now, let me guess. Just gonna skip all of it? Yep. Nope, okay, just got one of them. Obviously gotta make this. Easy. I guess you're gonna skip that. Yep, of course. And then just eliminate all the other enemies. Not too bad. Okay, wow. How they figured this out, I do not know. Still got bronze. Nerf Legends speedruns. What are you gonna do? It truly is a world we live in. In case you didn't know, those exist. Hey, Luca. Luca, you want a treat? My dog's ignoring me. I am not loved. I'm very sad. Let's see, 12:07. All right. Well, I'm getting close to wrapping things up. If you've got any more questions or topics, feel free to put them in the chat right now. I think we've gotten through most of the things I wanted to talk about. I'm not surprised. Hot Wheels World Race has speedruns. Yeah, there's a whole world of speedrunning that I am just not familiar with. Cool to see people do it, though. Absolutely. And, I mean, if anything can happen in a good way to Nerf Legends, it's at least that some people do speedrunning on it. Because there's not much else good that you can do in that game. Thanks for coming on. Well, thank you for being on the stream. Appreciate it. Yes, thank you, JMC, and thank you, Fire in a Can. I appreciate the kind words. I have no actual streaming schedule, but I'm trying to do a little bit more. And if I can get it to a point where it's easy to set things up and just get some topics and we can just chat, I think that'll be a good time. Just to hang out and chat about the state of things. Maybe I'll actually have like a particular blaster to discuss, but like I said, I really only want to make sure that I'm talking about something if I feel very inspired by it. I'm trying not to acquire every new blaster just for the sake of doing that. I do not need to review every new blaster on my channel. In fact, I will explicitly say no. Clear Harrier? Meh. Well, I guess I already ruined my opportunity to do a Clear Harrier video because I split it up. Oops. It do be like that. I also realized that there's like it's the middle of Saturday and there's a bunch of people going to games today, so this was maybe not the best timing. I apologize. Yep. So what's up with the Shelby Destroyer? Oh, what isn't up with the Shelby Destroyer? So much is up. You can, I hate to do this, but you can go back to the beginning of this stream to hear my current updates on the Shelby Destroyer. But needless to say, we're still looking into it. Nothing has been like dropped just because I haven't made a video about it in, a week or so. It's not like I lost inspiration on that. Hey man, how do you like the Nerf subreddit? The Nerf subreddit is okay. It could be better. I've had my challenges with it in the past. I've tried to post stuff on there before and have been told no. I've also posted stuff that was well received, but I've also seen other things posted there that I disagree with. And in particular, there's a few people on there that seem to just have a really loud voice that really pissed me off. And one of them blocked me recently, but he's just an absolute pain in the ass. And I think the fact that they keep some folks like that on there, these absolute know-it-alls that do not actually seek anything other than to just, show off that they're smarter than you, is not a good look. Taruk, I'm talking about you. Sorry, do you think I wasn't going to mention you by name? Taruk, go to hell. Get off the subreddit. Go to sleep. Avatar Fire and Ash just got announced, so get excited. You have something to look forward to in life. You don't have to live on the Nerf subreddit and just, post paragraphs responding to people. You can get a life. So go find one. Have a good day. Sorry, was that too mean? That wasn't too mean. That's fine. Pick up any new Siren Blasters? Oh, no. The Siren Blasters, no. I don't remember if I mentioned this before. I definitely haven't made a video about it. And I don't know where I've posted this information. Gatekeep exists in every hobby, unfortunately. Gatekeep, Girl Boss, Gaslight. The Siren Blasters are very interesting. I know some people were asking me about that when discussing the Siren... Freudian slip. When discussing the Shelby Destroyer as well. The Siren Blasters are not a scam. Don't worry. We know this because they have already shipped one of their products. They are, in fact, delivering them. I'm not thrilled about pre-orders in general. Again, see discussion about Shelby Destroyer. we don't necessarily need them, especially from a company that is able to clearly fund it from the get-go. But if it means that you can save a little bit of money and they then charge again for shipping, see what are you really saving there. They did kind of confirm that they would honor their refund policy, which is great until it doesn't happen. Point being, they sent out the first blaster, which is good. Some people had some issues with it, but I think overall it kind of lived up to the reviews. You know, it's a pullback pistol, magazine fed. I have a dart. It's over there. It's fine. I love the look of it. I don't know if I love those style of darts. The other two blasters I have mixed feelings on. I have very strong mixed feelings about how they have not allowed people to talk about the blink. I think that is a bad look, and I also know it's because there were some problems with it, so why would they send out early review samples and then still be taking pre-orders? I don't love that. I also don't love the Mauler being so adjustable in power and then being marketed like with this like toy-friendly shell. I mean, 270 is too much, and they want to put that on store shelves? Do we want that? Like, seriously, I don't mind the 150, 160 FPS blasters on store shelves. I think 200 might even be pushing it. For, like, the toy section, like, Nexus Pro X, fine. Like, good blaster, sure. I don't know if I want that, like, off the rip, like, at that power on store shelves. I almost would have rather them done including the spring that made it less powerful first, and then sold the next 2 level up springs. So instead of selling the blaster being able to shoot at like 200 and then having the additional spring set for lower and higher, I wish they started with just the low and then they gave you on their website 2 spring offerings that made it like 200 and maybe 250. I think that would have been better. Maybe I'm in the minority there. But I don't love the trend of getting crazy hot stuff on shelves. And I think, yeah, being able to make that Mauler go up well beyond like 200 is not a good idea. Especially if they want to have it look the way it does and not have any other, like, I don't know, warnings about... Well, okay, on the blaster there's like a certain warning, but it doesn't seem like it would fit then for safety around other blasters that are like, oh, here's the Nerf Fortnite blaster that shoots like 70 FPS. Here's the N series stuff. So, mixed feelings on Siren. Not a scam. Good news, not a scam. But they have some refinements to do. And behind the scenes, they have a lot of refinements to do. There is a timeline that could have seen me talking about them in an early review video as well. Or should I say, I could have done a sponsored promotional video for them too. But it did not happen. And there are reasons for that, and maybe I'll share them more one day. I agree 270 is a bit too much for store shelves. Yeah. Thanks, Norseman, for stopping by today. Appreciate the comments. But yeah, if people like the Siren blasters, they get to use them for stuff. I'm happy about that. I don't understand the shell design language. I'll give them that if they did want to make something that looked more toy-like, good. But they also made something that looks a little... Again, if it's going to be like higher powered, maybe make it a bit more comfortable and not... It doesn't have to appeal to all audiences if it's going to be slightly more powerful, right? Right? Again, if it's between that and like making it appear to be some Milsim AR-15, okay, then I agree that this was the better design language to make it look like a toy. We are not between those two extremes though. I should say I still have not gotten my hands on any of them. Clearly marked as not for kids, sure, but there are many games that allow... Yeah, are there even games that allow 270, like, that high of frequency? People been saying that, you know, with new blasters being higher and higher FPS that they kind of have to make their games now at higher FPS limits. Do you, though? Well, let's see. Our family-friendly games have a 150 FPS game cap. But the Nexus Pro X came out, and that's hitting 200. So I guess we kind of have to up our FPS cap. No, you don't. Think of the children. If that's your target audience, then cater to what will make that audience safe. Some people need to understand that. I'm not a game organizer, though. I get it. And some people just, they want to be able to use their blasters at certain games. And if you have a small event that is just like a couple people, they're all adults, I mean, then yeah, that's what's wrong with having like a 300 FPS game if it's the right area, and you're all got the right like safety equipment, eye protection, you know, namely, because that's really all we need. But at a certain point, yeah, it does get, I guess, a bit hairy. We've come to a point where some of the more easily accessible games for people to find, you know, Nerf game, become stuff that is not actually friendly to new players. Like, we have made it very difficult for some games to welcome new players of, I would say, reasonable ages. You know, sometimes an 8-year-old will walk up to a game and they hardly know how to use their blaster and they're using, you know, an unmodded Strife because they still have that. You're gonna have some problems. Okay, I get it. But we should be able to have games that are welcoming to younger audiences that aren't just like, oh, you don't have an AEB, you don't have something that fires like 7 darts per second. That's not even that high, is it? You don't have something that can fire like 200 FPS. You're in trouble, kid. 150 FPS is the family-friendly cap these days. It could be. It's 150. It might not be a family-friendly cap. It's a welcoming FPS cap that can, how do I say this? I mean, yeah, I'd be fine if there were games that were definitely just stock blasters, but the stock only has lost its, like, all meaning, right? Because you can buy things off the store shelves now that are 200. I think 150 allows people to use stuff like Rival out of the box, allows people to use a bunch of just lower powered stuff that doesn't have to be up to 150. There are still plenty of blasters at 150 that you'll get hit and you'll know it. I think like for when people do 160 FPS cap, even like using the Strife X, I sometimes feel bad about for people who are using way lower powered stuff or people who are younger, because I'm like, this is pretty spicy. I'd rather use a Nightingale that does like 110 maybe. But I think 150 has, in my experience, has been inviting enough for some of the younger audiences. But I would definitely be fine with games that are way lower than that to welcome super younger players. But with the right eye protection and maybe even just like a face covering, I think kids can do all right at those games. At least I'm not as concerned when it's like up to 150 and there's a good moderation team making sure. But like I said, it really depends on the game too, because sometimes there are like blasters that are tuned to like 170 or something that people just have like really good scars on, and so they're just shooting right up to 150. For a family-friendly game, I'd want 90 FPS, and so it only covers the slightly spicier elite-grade Dart Zone blasters. Yeah, that's totally fine. I could see that too. That would be, honestly, can you hook me up with one of those games? I miss those days. I miss the games where, you know, having something that shot 100 FPS was crazy high. I think I'll put this out there. Games that have no FPS cap, change your life. Just put a number on it, okay? If you say, oh, we don't need one because everyone agrees, like, this is, like, that one blaster that shoots 450 FPS is not gonna... It's just that one guy, and he shoots, like, one dart every minute or something. then call your FPS cap 450. And if people don't like that number, then maybe you gotta lower it. Then maybe people aren't comfortable if they see that's the FPS cap. You just gotta, we live in the year 2024. You can define your FPS cap. If it's just two people just shooting around with some stuff, that's fine. That's not a game. If you're having an organized game, I think you should have an FPS cap. We have so many ways that you can test for performance and power. There's no reason not to define it. Timmy's Goodwill Disruptor should be able to stand a chance. Timmy's Goodwill Disruptor, poor guy. He should, though. He should. He should have a game that allows for that. But I also think that a lot of the games that like I would be talking about here and that I'd be going to and traveling to with people like my age or maybe even a little bit younger or older, probably not those games. They really are in a completely separate world. There are the target audience for the real Nerf. They don't care about the enthusiasts for selling all their stuff. They want the people like, like Timmy's Goodwill Disruptor audience. That moment when you don't have a Nerf group nearby. Oh, very sad. Hey, I went many years without having an actual Nerf group nearby. I know how it feels. That is one of the reasons that I make videos these days, is because when I didn't have any active Nerf games in my vicinity, I just watched a lot of Nerf videos. And now I make those videos that I wanted to watch when I was younger too. So yeah, call your hits. Be safe. Don't get hurt. Be nice to the children who you're playing with, maybe. You know, this may shock you. If there's a small child that is running up to you with like a super unpowerful blaster, you don't have to just like execute them on the spot. You can like dance and dodge a little bit, and maybe like you could even get hit from them. Crazy. Like, wow. If you're so uptight about like your KDR, then maybe you should go play airsoft. Our club did not need an FPS cap for like 3 years, and then exactly that happened. 3 dudes showed up with 200 FPS blaster when the rest barely went to 120. Yeah, 250. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. And you know, if you have like a tight-knit group, it can be fine for a while, but just like as the years have gone by, it's now easier than ever to just define it. And that will solve so many problems before they even, have a chance to take place. Because then you can also actually enforce your FPS cap. You can have something to back up, like, hey, I think that's too powerful. Why is that? Because it's against our FPS cap. No FPS cap equals 250 FPS plus 2 maniacs blowing holes in the cover at 400 plus. Yeah, and if that's the case, then you say the FPS cap is like at that 400, just so people know that they have a chance to be hit by something that hard. Because people should know what they're walking into, right? Like, if you're showing up to a game and you do have something that's lower powered, maybe it fires 120 FPS, but you saw a video and it looked like fun, you should know that there's someone out there on the field with you that is firing at like 3 times the power. You should know that. Or, if you're too young to understand that, you should have a parent that is well aware of that. Because I've seen conversations take place when that didn't seem to be the case. Children having fun? No. That's right. It's the children that are wrong. Someone's looking at me wanting to go for a walk. Gone for almost an hour 50. Getting to a good spot to wrap up. I appreciate the additional comments and conversations. Nerf shouldn't leave welts. That is going to be that is a good debate topic then. I mean, and let's say this too. I don't always want to play at some of those games. Like, I don't necessarily want welts after every game I play. It happens. Like, I get it. But if someone was like, hey, there's a guy on the other team who has a 400 FPS, like, sniper, you know what I'm going to say? No, I'm not playing. I don't want to play at that game. Literally, I will go play a different hobby if that's what we're doing. Sorry, that just doesn't appeal to me. And if it appeals to you and you're totally fine with getting hit by something like that, that's fine. Maybe you're wearing something that makes it better to take those kinds of hits too. And I know that's where people will be like, oh, you can't get hit by a Nerf dart, brr, 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 and they don't understand like how hard these things are hitting now. But like, it really does become an issue of like safety. Like something that over 300 FPS, even like over 250, I mean, what kind of eye protection are you wearing? I know that's like the only thing that we really enforce, but at a certain point, yeah, what eye protection are you wearing? That's right, go play airsoft. When is it legal to say go play airsoft? I want to make a video on that one day. Really ruffle some people's feathers. Go play real guns. Damn straight. Weenie Hut Jr. over here playing with his Nerf toys. Go get a real gun. Psh. Lazy. On that note, that might be a good spot to end. We got to the real guns part. Don't bring those to games, guys. We like actually having Nerf games. We don't want to get them canceled forever. All it takes is an incident like that. And the fun is gone. Yep. Tanks. All right, folks. This has been fun. Just under 2 hours. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the insights. And we will be back sometime in the future with another stream and some new topics, or we'll retread old ground. I don't know. I have a game next weekend on Saturday, so I guess I'll actually get to play for the first time in like over a month. Maybe I'll get good, or maybe I'll be completely washed, having not played Nerf in like over a month. We shall see. Next video is, I don't know yet. So stay tuned. Maybe it's something that I talked about today. Maybe it'll be something different. Yeah, I don't actually know. I thought I did. Guess not. What's your favorite game for an all-age audience? Just Meat Grinder. You just go out there, you get tagged, you go back, clicker battle style. You always need infinite response. Yeah, I will post hopefully something new with gameplay in the near future. Yes, and I'll hopefully charge my camera if I'm planning to get gameplay footage. I don't think it's going to be the most interesting, but you never know. You never truly know. All right. That is all. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in today. If you're not subscribed, I guess this is the part where I tell you to subscribe. I would be surprised if that was the case, but hey, now you know. Make sure to like this stream, smash that like button, smash your keyboard, smash your computer screen. Make sure to wear eye protection though, because that's important, as we established. Make sure to pre-order the Shelby Destroyer, find a way to send them money, and yeah, buy Nerf Legends full price as well. See, you don't actually want my advice. Alrighty, folks. Thanks again. I will see you next time. I'm more active on Instagram for little updates too, in case you're wondering where the next video is. I don't know. but I'll be there too. Bye-bye. Have a good day.